Hey everyone, I'm Bonnie Rose. Thanks for being here. I'm going to be doing some more YouTube videos. Hello, YouTube universe. Just to let you all know about what's going on in my practice and kind of how I see things as a clinical energetic herbalist. And so today, what I want to talk about is tinctures, which, if you've never seen or used a tincture, it looks like this. This is a 1 ounce bottle. And what is a tincture is probably the most common question I get. So I like to think of them as preserved teas. They're made usually in alcohol, and it is a herb preserved for the purpose of ingesting it internally. Sometimes people see the brown bottle and they think essential oil, which is a completely different product, a different you know, extraction and use. So don't be confused. The way I generally take tinctures is I either put it right on my hand like this or straight into my mouth. Some people do like to put it like into their tea or their water. And as long as you finish, the whole drink, that's totally fine. So you can just drink it like this. And yeah, I usually make them with a high proof alcohol, but you don't need something fancy. You could make a tincture. All you need is a jar, an herb that you want to preserve, and a menstruum, which is a liquid. So it could be, again, high proof alcohol or even brandy if you're using a dried herb. I have a tincture here. This is underway. I just made it yesterday. It's Damiana. And so you want to leave your tinctures in, put the herb into the jar. You can weigh it or not, and then make sure it's covered in alcohol so it doesn't get moldy. Make sure you label it. That's the way what it is like months later when you find it. Because you're gonna let it sit like this. I usually put them into the cupboard so they're away from the bright light, which can kind of degrade the medicine. You can shake it every day. That's a great way to get the liquid moving around and really extracting the most from the plant. And as you can see, it's pretty full up to the top. Again, if you have any plant sticking out that's not covered in alcohol, it is likely to get moldy. So just make sure everything's nice and saturated like this. Um, so I tried this yesterday. I'll probably let it sit for a month or two. And I also keep a little journal about my tinctures. Some people keep this as a spreadsheet, but like this is a couple, let's see, a good area for you to look at. Here's some from a while ago, but this is like chamomile. Here's sagebrush, and then usually I write like when I press it also. So this is just a way to keep track of everything. And then I have this master apothecary list that I was actually just updating. And what the way I do that is when I have a client, I sit with them for a couple of hours and I hear all about what's going on. And I do a lot of charting. I make a timeline of their health history and I look for the patterns of maybe where some of the illnesses or imbalances have started to try to get a scope on like how we got to where we are today. And then I have to choose from about 300 remedies. So I have a spreadsheet of 200 tinctures that look a lot like this. This is the pressed tincture. So after a couple months, I'll press this out with a strainer and some like a muslin bag. So it's like really fine straining and then pour it into here. So it's good to go. This is an 8 ounce bottle of bergamot I just made from my time in Italy last summer. It smells so good. I wish that you could smell it. Um, but yeah, it's really easy to make. I made this on the go when I was traveling. And now it's preserved in little bottles. So when I'm working with my client, I have to choose from 200 tinctures and then I have another 100 flower essences. And these all have different uses and impacts on the body and helping a person come back into balance. And so it can be kind of a hard decision. I try to find things that are going to be really well-rounded and support the client and also yeah, like in different body systems in different ways and really have it be like a synergistic formula. I usually pour 2 ounces, and that will last my client between 2 and 3 months. And then the next time they come see me the following season, we'll talk about how things have shifted, maybe some of my intentions with a certain herb, and check in about that. And then, proceed from there because our needs as people are often changing, and we just want to meet the present moment with the right remedy. So the way I do it when I'm pouring for a client is I keep a little checklist in my kitchen. I write it down. And then what I do is I update my spreadsheet from time to time. And so I was just doing that. And I thought it would be really interesting to share with you all what are my top herbs. So I have a little list, and these are in alphabetical order. Um, and I'll tell you what they are, and then I'll explain a little bit about what this means. So burdock, chamomile, dandelion root, holy basil, lemon balm, and mullein are the top 6 herbs that I've poured over the past couple of years for clients. And what really stands out to me is how common and abundant these herbs are. They're not like herbs that have to be sourced from outside of my bioregion. And they're really common herbs. Like you've probably heard of at least 1 or 2 of them, if not all. And what that really tells me is even when I'm in the process of formulation, these plants that are so useful and have so many different applications, they are the plants that I reach for. And it really speaks to the bioregionalism of my practice, and that I'm using plants that I can either grow. A lot of these I'm growing myself and processing fresh from the garden that I help tend at Alamany Farm. Or I can get them really abundantly, like burdock, I can get at the grocery store, and dandelion root is fairly available as well. All of these plants can actually grow in my bioregion if I had the patience for it. Although I'm not going to go around harvesting dandelion from like the side of the road or sidewalk crack or even like a field or a park, because you never know what kind of exposure those plants have had, right? Like I don't want there to be toxins from, say, like car exhaust in my formula, in my tincture, of course, because this is medicine. And so making sure that's where I'm sourcing things is safe is really important. So that's a little insight. And yeah, I have some of the herbs here. A lot of these plants just look the same, when it's all chopped up and dried, but this is dandelion leaf, which is a great tea, and also can be eaten fresh and incorporated into food and salads. I have mullein here, which is a nice fluffy plant that can be also harvested sustainably, right? So having a lower impact on the plant and the bioregion. And I have nettles, which are not usually an herb that I'm pouring in a formula because they don't extract well in alcohol, but they're really great tea that I have a lot of my clients utilize for nutrient dense drink. And then I have lemon balm here. And again, like such a great remedy and super abundant and super effective and fairly gentle and safe for lots and lots of people. So that's a little insight into my apothecary and my process. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you tune back in soon for another insight into my practice. Thank you. Bye.